Okay, this video isn't going to be a tutorial. It's just going to be like a taste of other cool things in Autograph that we haven't made tutorials for yet. Think of this like a series of movie trailers where you're just getting a little hint of something. And the point is to let you know that it exists. And we're going to go quick, and we're going to go in order from what I think is moderately interesting to what I think is the most interesting at the end. Okay, ready, go. You can do green screen keying with the color difference key modifier. This effect even has a built-in spot for garbage matte and core mats with a generator where you can hook up a shape generator for creating a mask for garbage or core mats. You can composite with EXR files. And you can also work with the AOV files in those EXRs to create some great custom composites. You can do motion tracking. Just select a layer, right click on it, and choose Add Tracker. You can do point tracking, or you can track a planar surface. You can create materials for 3D objects from scratch. Again, this is on the stroke or the fill. You need to select it with the 3D object and then scroll down to the materials. I'm going to click here. Instead of creating a material on the object, I'm going to create a new material layer. And on this material, I can go to any one of these properties. Let's say, for example, the base color map, and click on the plug to create a generator. If I want to create noise here, I can create a noise generator for my base map. And maybe I want to go into the grade and decrease the contrast, and maybe I'll take the output alpha to opaque, and maybe I'll make that just a little bit bigger so we have a little bit of a texture there. But this becomes a lot more interesting when we apply textures to other things, such as the roughness map. And so maybe I'll add a noise to the roughness map. And so then this will create some areas that are rough and are more matte, and some that are more reflective. So maybe I'll increase the contrast quite a bit. Maybe I'll take down the frequency a little bit. And now we can see the light hitting that different as I move this around. And maybe I'll bump up the reflectance a little bit. One of the most interesting maps to use, I think, is the normal map. And this changes the surface of the object, or the apparent surface of the object, and adds a little bit of surface texture. So I can go to normal map, and again, let's go ahead and add a noise generator to this. And perhaps I will scale this down there. But really what I want to do is go over here to the material, open it up, and find the area where I added a normal map. And by default, noise does not work well with normal maps. And so what we need to do is convert this. So I'm going to add a modifier called height map to normals. Once I add height map to normals, you'll see that we're actually now displacing the surface of our wheel. And I might take the depth down, something like 1 to normalize this. I could push it a little bit, but we'll start getting these artifacts. So what I need to start doing, and need to do instead, is adjust the level and the other parameters in order to get some detail on my surface there. And as we move in 3D space, you start to see some of those glitters from pushing it too hard, but also you can see that we are getting a little bit of texture on our surface there. The way that the light is hitting that, it's looking pretty cool. And what we might need to do is kind of adjust this to taste. Perhaps it'd be easier if we removed the roughness and the base color maps. We can now see that a little bit more clearly that that normal map is distorting the surface of our object. Really endless stuff to play with on these materials. You can create custom panels and promote properties to be controlled in these panels without having to dig through your layers to find them. And last, but most definitely not least, is the extremely powerful bind to table generator, which allows us to create data-driven graphics. So I have here this CSV file. It's a spreadsheet, and I can bring it in here and use it with a cloner to drive the position, both the X and Y position, of all of the little icons, the weather icons here in this animation. And in addition to that, I can put in this value, the weather column here, which indicates which icon should be used. So basically I can say, this is where city number 1 is on the map, and use this weather. And this is just a regular cloner being driven by the position properties and the instances of what it's using from this spreadsheet. I mean, you could imagine the power of being able to just punch in a bunch of numbers and have your motion graphics project automatically update with a lot of complex data like this. I mean, you can even use spreadsheets in Autograph to dynamically control the points on a mask. This application is incredible. I hope you've had a blast learning. I've had a blast creating this training and getting to know Autograph as well. And I hope you have a similar experience. I can't wait to see what you make. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.